Hello everyone, welcome to Mindspeak on Herald Global. I am Saimik Sen. Joining us today, a very renowned actress from Bengali films and Bollywood, Miss Paoli Dam. First of all, thank you so much for taking out this time for us. Welcome to Herald Global.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so I would like to begin by asking you, being a postgraduate in chemistry, how did acting happen to you?
So, in most of the Bengali households in Bengal, as a kid, your parents, especially mothers, actually, they take them for different kind of classes, like cultural activities, actually, I would say, including singing, dancing, recitation, some kind of instrument, even theaters. So these are the activities which were, very organically and spontaneously and naturally, as if it was supposed to, we are supposed to know everything.
Yes, I understand completely.
Yeah, but it is not a pressure, I would say. It's a very natural process that we all go through, and we all love that. Even I used to love dancing. Singing was the only one thing which I regret now for not taking up seriously, which my mom really wanted me to take up, but it didn't happen. But that way, theater started very early for me. When I was in nursery, from then, I used to perform in a organization which was for kids, essentially, and it's called Shishu Rangon. It was led by late Shoilen Ghosh, the Shishu Sahitya award also he got for that, for a lot of dramas, plays that he wrote for kids. Yeah. So that I was a part of it for long, from nursery till class 8, 9, probably. That was a time I did a lot of plays. I even performed in every month we used to have a call shows, in different parts of Bengal. Even in Mumbai, Pune, we performed on stage. Delhi also I performed when I was in class 5, 6. So somehow I think that connection and love for the craft, for performing arts, that's way on that way, acting, that I would say, it had begun long back in my life, but probably I didn't. It was just happening, I didn't take it like so seriously, like I will make this as a profession. वो दिमाग में नहीं था कभी, and I didn't pursue it that way. Means I used to love it, I used to enjoy it, and every Sunday, for when maybe there is a a birthday party or a marriage ceremony or some kind of and family engagements, जब रहता था हम लोग, when I grew up in a joint family space. So I realized that every Sunday, when rest of the members of the family, they used to go and attend something, मैं theater class जाती थी, because वो मुझे पसंद था, वो मुझे कहीं there's an inner calling, something that was there. So yeah, I was into academics. I loved studying also, like in chemistry also. I after that, in fact, after class 9, 10, I thought नहीं ये शौक अभी रहने देते हैं. Let's, education is also important. Like as in every Bengali household also, that they make sure till graduation तक तो
It's very important. Yes.
So I took I took my acting part, took a back seat after class 9 until graduation. After that, again, it somehow happened again. So I think it was supposed to happen, probably. And while I was doing my master's, I started working, and professionally working, because professionally I'm saying because uske pehle shauq tha, just a passion it was. I started also earning money out of it, so it became my profession.
More motivation.
Yeah, so that passion will turn into profession someday. I wasn't planning for it, frankly. I was into academics. I would have stuck to it somehow. Somehow I felt कि नहीं ये जो हो रहा है मेरे साथ अभी. After that, when Kaalbela happened with Goutam Ghose, the film which was initially done just for Doordarshan, it was done as a episodes, 10 episode series. But then it got released as a film, And as far as I've heard, like Mrinal Sen, he was instrumental behind releasing the film. It was a long, like 3 hours, 45 minutes film, but people loved watching it. And that's the entire changed for me. And that's how cinema happened.
Okay, so you started your career from like television, theater, then television, and then into finally into Bollywood. Okay, after Bengali movies. So how has this transition been for you?
I think I got a lot of opportunity from different platforms. I've been able to work in different platforms. First, stage theater as a kid. After that, television. After that, films. Again, in films, there was a time we used to we used to, before the digital format came in, we used to film in this, like the Kodak and all that, the film, the can use. And for every NG, a non-granted shot, you need to be so careful. Everything needs to be fixed because it used to be that expensive. We don't think like that. So there has been a change in the entire process of filming, the way we approach it, the way we see it, the way we perceive it, and even the way we accept it as an audience. So there has been a transition overall in audiovisual medium, I would say. So that way, I think I got the opportunity to work in all the platforms. And after films, definitely came the OTT platforms. So that's again a new opportunity, I would say. The more the platforms, the more the opportunities for the actors, technicians, and for everyone. So I think that has been a nice transition, and I've got that opportunities also from my directors and producers who trusted me with the kind of roles they've given me. And thanks to all of them.
Okay, coming to the directors, you have worked with some acclaimed directors like Goutam Ghose, Buddhadev Dasgupta, Sridhar Mukherjee. What has been the learning, if I ask you, like one learning from each of them?
When I started with Goutam, I was I just had begun working. I actually didn't know how the technicalities behind, in even like portraying a character. It's not just the emotion. There are a lot of techniques involved in performances. Be it stage to alag hota hai wo, it's a live audience. Then there comes the camera thing, the light thing, the lensing. वो बहुत कुछ, those are the things, like not just like what we do in front of the camera, do nuances while I'm framing, like while I'm trying to portray something, while I'm trying to do the characterization of a character, not just the emotional quotient of it, but I would also say the intelligent IQ of it, like to understand what goes behind the camera also to make that, that character larger than life kind of a role, or even if it's a next girl next door. So what are the things involved while making that thing happen? So those are the points which I started learning, like behind the camera kya hota hai, and the technical side of it. I got intrigued to it. So with Goutam Da, he's been a fantastic, of course, like he's a mentor kind of. He's given opportunities to a lot of, he's worked with the legends, he's also worked with new people. So for me, he was a first time I was working with somebody of that big stature. And his cinematography is fantastic. So those were the things I started learning from him. Uske baad I worked with Rituparna Ghosh, Buddhadev Dasgupta, and Srijit, of course, it's today's time a director you're talking about, you're mentioning. Then while I was working with Tigmangshu Dhulia in The Great Indian Murder, and also I got an opportunity to work with a lot of directors from Bombay, even Mumbai. So from every every film or project for me is like a journey, and each and every journey, you know your destination probably, but the journey is something which you need to enjoy. And during that process, I think with each and every one I have worked till now, something or the other I have learned, something or the other. Or aisa bhi hoya, at times I feel like, the things which I've been learning for so many years now in cinema, probably wo bhi incorporate mein kabhi kabhar, kar bhi sakti hu, because that when my director needs me to do something from a certain space, at least I can understand what he's trying to say, keeping the technical part in mind. So wo bhi hai. So and Avinash Das, with whom I worked in Raat Baki Hai, the Z5 OTT film.
Yes.
Oh God, he is he knows about every literature in Bengal. So we used to have conversation about ये book का क्या है, वो तुमने वो पढ़ा है कि नहीं. So in spite of being in Mumbai, but he's aware of the kind of work happening in Bengal, the kind of literature being written here, the kind of books being written here. So वो सब भी है, like from each and every different kind of unit, different kind of people, you get to learn different kind of things. And that's what helps you shaping the character also you're playing.
Sure. So you mentioned Kaalbela. So Kaalbela is considered a turning point in your career. Okay, so how did this movie happen to you?
So yeah, like as you know, like होता है कि कभी कभार वो होता है ना, एक desire होता है कि I want to really work with this director. So yeah, I think everyone wants to work with Goutam Da. And when I started off, I remember there was the Kolkata Film Festival which was happening, and I went to see few films. And I remember one day, it was like late evening, it was a little dark in Nandan area, the theatre, the Nandan theatre area, yes. That's the cultural area that we call the hub of the cultural center of Bengal. So wahan pe it was around 6:30, I think winters, because film festival happens in November, December time.
Sure.
And it was going dark, and I saw Goutam Da, there's somebody standing there who was so familiar. I could see Goutam Da standing there, I thought, should I go and approach and tell him, like, really, I'm a big fan of you, I really want to work with you. Then something from within said, I know he won't be recognizing me in any way, then why will he cast me in something like that? I can't end up doing something foolish. So I restrained ho gaya tha under sick, and I couldn't. After a few months, while I was I think that was Sunday, I was sitting at home, and Sunday lunch, mangsho bhat, in every
I understand. I can relate. Yeah.
So after a proper lunch and everything with the family, and I was just listening to some music, suddenly get a call and from the on the other side of the phone. So it said like, Ami Goutam Da office থেকে বলছি. And I'm saying, which Goutam Da? I'm calling from Goutam Da's office. I said, Goutam Ghose. I said, like, तब मुझे लगा कि what?
The dream come true.
And that call, I think, changed a lot of things. I went to meet him, and I still remember when I was walking, to reach his office. वो एक लंबा corridor है. वो मुझे लग रहा था कि it's a never-ending road. It's leading me to somewhere. It may sound little, like a lyrical, poetic, and philosophical, but somehow that was the case. That was happening to me. And when I reached, we met, we spoke, he clicked a few pictures of mine, which were in black and whites, and he instantly finalized me. And that was the time I felt dreams do come true.
Okay, so you've acted in some woman-centric films like your Bollywood debut, Hate Story, or your OTT series, Kali. So as an actor, does this kind of roles put some kind of a pressure on you? Okay, because the plot is focused on you completely?
I would call it privilege, in a space where mostly, in a patriarchal space, whatever we call, it's mostly female characterization, it was limited to certain space, especially in traditional cinema, like what we watch in a 70 frame. They were supposed to look certain way, they were supposed to do certain things.
Sure.
So it is not a pressure, I would call it a privilege. So, because I always wanted to do films which are based on women issues, topics about the taboos that we talk about. It's also a kind of awareness, I would say, it's required also through entertainment, through certain narratives, through certain storytellings. I think even the women issues needs to be addressed, and that was only possible for me. I'm an artist. I can only do it, talk about those things through my work, through cinema. So that's a medium I chose, and to talk about the issues that not just women, I would also call as human, we all go through. And but definitely, you know, if you are getting a character, if you're getting a film which is on your shoulder, and you're carrying it forward, and you're taking it through the journey that it's happening through you, I would say it's a beautiful thing, because all of us want, definitely, we all want to play protagonist. We want to all want to, put ourselves, and you take that. I would say I would take that pressure as being like, happily I would take that pressure of carrying the film on my shoulder, and it's not in a negative way, it's a beautiful way. And most of my projects, if you say, like Kaalbela was not female oriented, but Madhuri Lata became an iconic character through the cinema. That's how I started getting more films, because people accepted me, the audience accepted me. And then, Elar Charodhya, the last novel by Rabindranath Tagore, I played Ela. So that was again a female oriented. So most of my films have spoken, where women are strong, they take their own responsibilities, they take their own decisions. Even in Karm Youth, the last, which got released on Disney Plus Hotstar, and it has got like so many messages and so many calls I got from every nook and corner. People loved Indrani Roy. And I think that all these characters somehow, be it Madhuri Lata, be it Ela, be it Kaveri Krishna in Hate Story, be it Machet Jhol's Srila, or be it even Indrani Roy, or be it Binodini of Bulbul. I think all are, somehow, talk about the emotional journey as well as the internal journey. To hai uske saath saath the outer side, I think, is a very strong, powerful characters. And I felt nice doing these roles. Yeah.
Okay, so in recent time, Indian cinema has seen quite a lot of woman-centric, movies. Do you think the audience today has evolved as compared to earlier?
Means everything is changing, everything is evolving. So obviously the audience taste, audience's acceptance about looking at women characters in a certain way, that has also evolved and changed for betterment. That's why we can experiment with women characters so much on OTTs, especially in OTTs, I would say. Women-oriented films used to always happen. Like Khoon Bhari Mang had happened long back. Uske pehle, of course, Mother India. So there has been films like Kahani. There has been films like Sridevi has been doing, like The Mom, the kind of English. It has always been there, but the numbers were less. Definitely, the audience acceptability was less. That's why the numbers were less. But now I think people like watching women in different kind of spaces. I think a more human way, more real way, including the flaws. It's not that everything has to be perfect. I think reality is what people are loving in OTT. And in reality, you have to keep women in the space they are. So yeah, that way, I think we are showing our real self more now. Than being, camouflaged in a certain way or stereotyped in a certain way. And there can be, mood swings in a female character. People love watching that also. And so it's a real, I would say, it's a human, it's a real person that, that audience wants to watch, be it a man or be it a woman. So that's what OTT has definitely done for actors, I would say, and it's beautiful that way. And more real characters are being written. That's why all a different on writing also, I would say. Writing has also evolved. The way we show a man, the way we show a woman, the way we show their internal relationship, the dimension of the relationships have changed. So these things, even while writing, that because people are loving to watch these kind of shades in all the characters, be it a man or a woman, इसीलिए ये ज़्यादा भी हो रहा है. So in a way, I think we are in a more experimental space, which is good.
Okay, so you spoke about OTT. So you have worked in Kali, then Bulbul, Karm Youth. So my question to you is, how do you prepare for these roles?
First of all, definitely the concept and the script which intrigues me, and the character. If you know, like, what is she doing there? Uh, she may be good, she may be bad, she may be whatever, but what is she doing, and what is the purpose of the character also? So those are the things first, the first points. And of course, the director I'm working with. That's very important. The team you're working with. So these are the first things which intrigues me. And then what I do, of course, like we have script reading, we have character briefs, we have character sketches done, we have maybe a storyboard done, and we go through it. And at time, so there is a external process to it, and there is an internalized process to it. So external process is what I'm talking about, the technicalities of it. What is the body language, what is the graph of the character, what is the background of the character, so what is the socio-political space of the character, and how you place it. And then becomes the inner journey of the character,
Yes,
which
exactly.
is the emotional character. So those two placed together. It's not that always I prepare that much. At times you need to, probably, but Bulbul, let me tell you, I didn't get time to prepare, because I think I was the last on board. I was just maybe few days before the shoot started, I was on board. But thanks to the entire team, thanks to my director Anvita, A Clean Slate is a fantastic production. And so I think cinema is also, it's a collective art. It's a teamwork. So where people come together and they try to do the best, and then something beautiful comes out of it. So that's why I spoke about the team. So it's not always I get time to do it. Karm Youth, I definitely got. We shot in lockdown. It was peak lockdown when we shot Karm Youth in different locations. In Bengal, in Kolkata we shot, Goa we shot, then Mumbai we shot, and also Dalhousie. So it was not a very easy shoot. So Raat Baki Hai also was during the COVID time. So that was a little stressful, I would say, because everybody was with the PPE, this, that, the mask. We're not used to working in that kind of environment, a hospital environment, I would say. So that was a very, very challenging time for me as an actor also, because everything, we were sitting everywhere, and after every 5 minutes, they are sanitizing the entire space.
Yes.
So वो भी चलता रहता है वो दिमाग में. But somehow again, I approached it organically. I thought, let's forget about everything. Let's see, let's focus on the character. And that way it was nice, happy and satisfying, extremely satisfying journey.
So does this character stay with you after the shoot? Like, do you analyze, do you think?
I think,
and maybe
yeah.
You prepare yourself.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. There are few characters which stays with you, and it takes time, like to say goodbye. So and I enjoy also doing that. It's not that you don't, because you become someone, like you have to do that. You don't as an actor, I need to do this is that. So that is the technical side of it. Another is where you're giving a heart and soul to a character. You're just making it happen through a lot of love. So that is the space where you take time to withdraw. Sure. So yeah, and yeah, you're right. It takes time.
Okay, so OTT has changed the face of entertainment, but in the process, do you think the cinema has been impacted very negatively? What is your take on this?
I always believe, like, the more the platforms, the more the opportunities, the more the scope, and the more the experiment, and the better for the productivity. So I don't think there's a clash, because the traditional cinema is an experience which will always stay, which will always remain. It can't just vanish away. It is going to stay. And we all love watching, there are certain contents which you can't watch on your personal device. So sure. Cinema in a theater, I would say it's a community viewing, and OTT, I would say, is a personal viewing. So the contents vary. So there's no clash. I think both can exist in harmony. Both. Now, in cinema, I would say, like how the present scenario is, I think slowly, cinema, that 70 frame, you will always want to watch something larger than life.
Sure.
And on OTT, you would want to watch something more realistic, something which more closer to you, something more personal to you. So there is no clash. I think, like the only thing which happens, like if it's a good content, it's going to work, be it anywhere.
We see a lot of Bollywood actors, okay, primarily because of the Bollywood ban and everything. Okay, they want to release their content on the OTT platform only. Maybe there is a fear that it might simply not do well. So, do you think this kind of transition affects the artist personally?
I think every transition has its plus and minus. I don't want to take that word, quote unquote, whatever, because I somehow don't relate or believe in those kind of terms. I think if the content is good, it is going to work. So that conviction needs to stay. I understand we are going through a space where, last 2 years, everything was shut. So people have got, used to watching contents on OTT in their devices. And of course, there is a space for that, which I just now said, there is no clash. Both can exist in harmony. You have to have traditional cinema. That is not going to go. That is going to stay. So we have to see how we are able to keep both. That is the responsibility I think we need all of us to take together. So, maybe certain films didn't work, which probably was supposed to work. So I think the way we think or way we approach also maybe a content, or the way we have been working till now, there should be a slight change is required, probably the way you think or way you approach while even doing a traditional cinema. I think that is for betterment only. अच्छे के लिए हो रहा है. कोई भी transition हो, there has to be difficulties. I would say there will be hurdles, but we can overcome it. It's not that you choose contents which it's definitely going to work on bigger screen, bigger platform, and then OTT is obviously there. So I don't think it's the कुछ अगर कुछ नोशन से अगर हम लोग चल रहे हैं कि ये और फॉर्मूला से चल रहे हैं कि ये होने से यही होगा, वो होने से वो होगा, it is not the time for it. At times, probably you may not expect something from a certain project, but it gives you so much of love. So presume करने से बेहतर है, I think, to go and do and practice or do something actually which is not been done before. Why not? Something new for the audience. So that's the way I think, and I think if the content is good, it is surely going to work. Be it in any platform.
Okay, so your journey has been from Bengali films to Bollywood. Okay, I that's the reason I ask you this question. So do you think you consider Bollywood as an aspirational platform, maybe a step up from the regional, or do you think the regional films itself has its own potential? And because there are a lot of actors from South who believe they're self-sufficient, working in the southern industry itself. So Bollywood is not something. So what is your take on that?
देखिए, मैं तो ऐसे सोचती नहीं हूँ. Every language has its plus. Every language has its the beauty of every regional, what you say nowadays we call language cinema. So, and we do have in Bengali films lovely stories, and we experiment here a lot. So ऐसे नहीं कि Bollywood is something like वहाँ जाने से कुछ और कुछ मिल सकता है. What I like is working in different kind of language. I'm too okay with this, or I'm not okay with this. I like experimenting with cinema. I will keep on doing it, be it in any language. I had also done a Konkani film called Baga Beach, which had also got national award. So I like experimenting with language. I would love to keep on working in Hindi as well as Bengali, or in any language I get an opportunity. So I don't think that way. So I think every region has its plus their strength. You need to tap that strength and make a good film.
Okay. So what has been your most satisfying performance till date, according to you?
Oh, this is so difficult to say because each
Like,
and
if you
every
have to
character
talk
has
about one,
given
at
me
least.
so much. Starting from, so which to choose? See, there is Madhuri Lata, there is Ela, there is Khia from Natuker Moto, which is a biopic on a theatre actress I did.
True.
Then there is Srila of Machik Jhol. There is so many characters. Even Indrani Roy, Binodini of Bulbul, Kavya I have already mentioned. So
Of course.
all the characters till now, till date I have done. In fact, so I don't know which one to choose. Why don't you all choose for me?
Okay. Okay. So lastly, tell us about your future plans with respect to your next OTT release and the projects you are working on lately.
As of now, like 30th of September was Karmyud, which got released during the Durga Pujas and Navratri Durga Puja. And I've been getting like so many messages and calls from so many like different, from sphere, many people who may not be in the industry, in the same industry, they're working of different spheres of life. And yeah, I'm happy about it that it got in. People loved Karmyud and people loved watching Indrani Roy. So as of now, I'm enjoying that space. And there are a few releases next year. I will definitely let you know. And thank you so much. Thank you for asking me also this. So as of now, I cannot mention anything further, but I'll let you know for sure.
Okay. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank
Wishing you a happy Diwali and a happy Kali Puja in advance.
Happy Diwali and happy Kali Puja to all of you.
Okay. Thank you so much.